Hey everybody. Okay, so I need a serious pick-me-up today, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way. If you have been following along in my stories. Hey everybody. Hey guys. Okay, so I was not planning on going live today because frankly I couldn't get my bleep together enough to do it. If you've been following along in my stories, damn. Okay, so I have the ugliest cry on the face of the earth. Number one, my eyes get really red. Number two, so does my nose. Hey, this tip for you guys. For red eyes, Lumify. I don't get a kickback, nothing. It's just been what I've been putting in my eyes to get rid of all the redness in my eyes since yesterday and dropping. Thank you, Sue. Okay, so yesterday, pull myself together. Yesterday, we dropped our older son off at college. We moved him to the US. He's 5 hours away. It's been something that he's been dreaming about. He's going to play hockey. We are so incredibly proud of him. But yesterday was a really great day. I was so proud of him. And I'm sure there are others out there that, have gone through this. I know I'm not the only one. I know that. But I'm feeling yesterday, it was like this really weird mix of feeling of pride and excitement. For him. But also sadness. And, we're not new to this. Our younger son went to school last year. But he's close, right? He's like an hour away and he comes home on the weekends and okay. I'm going to get my shit together. And the reason why, and forgive my French, I know it's not French. For those that are French, don't be offended. I need to pull myself together today, okay? And one of the ways that I know to do that is to put hair on, number one. Number two, to get dressed. And number three, to take a few minutes to put a little bit of makeup on. So that's what we're gonna do today. I put the hair on, I got dressed, although I'm wearing Lululemon comfy pants on the bottom because let's just be real, all 100% in is a bit too much for me today. And I have not been live, ladies. It's been almost a month. So one of the things that I love doing the most here on this page is going live with you guys. I love answering your questions. I love helping you. And I thought, okay, let's just be honest. You're helping me just as much as I hope that I help you today, okay? Because I'm going to get myself out of this funk, all right? So if you guys have been going through similar challenges, drop what is your best advice, right? What would you tell your best girlfriend going through, some major changes? And I know that it's all like really exciting times. And look, I'm shaking. I am literally shaking. My mom texted me this morning and my mom said to me, Erynn, I hope that you're relaxing today. And I'm like, I'm not relaxing because if I stay in that space, I just, I keep walking by Carter's bedroom and crying. So I thought, you know what, maybe there are others out there that are kind of feeling blue today. And honest to God, when I do take some time to put myself together, whether that's hair, whether that's makeup, whether that's getting dressed, it makes me feel better, right? So if you're having a crappy day and you're, looking to get out of your funk, I hear you, and you are absolutely not, you're absolutely not alone. And I may be botching this because I'm a bit of an emotional mess right now. But anyways, I know so many of you guys reached out to me and said, Erynn, I hope it's going well, and all the things. And part of me feels a little bit bad because I know that so many of you guys have gone through this. But today, this makeup and putting myself together is going to help me feel better, right? I'm going to feel a little bit more like me. So today, if you guys are new, I'm using my SEINT IIID Cream makeup, right? All of my makeup is in this one palette. This is a really big palette, all right? Because I like all the things. But you don't have to start out with a really large palette. You can start out with something smaller. You can start out with something as small as a 4-tin palette. You know, I think what I'm going to do this week, because as we got home late last night from dropping Carter off. We had spent the night before closer to the school because we needed to be there early. It's about 5 hours away from us. But anyways, when I got home last night, I started thinking about all the things to sort of distract me. And one of the things I'm going to do this week is I'm going to show you guys how I did my makeup while I was away on vacation. Many of you guys followed along in my stories. We had an amazing summer vacation. Friends and family came up to the cottage. But you know, what I'm going to do is I'll hop on live. I'm just not sure what day it's going to be. And I'll show you how I use this same palette, but super simplified for, you know, cottage makeup, or, you know, just going out with some friends to the restaurant on the lake. It was a great time. What I love about this palette is I can do whatever I want, right? Whether it is a really light application look or I want to do full glam, I can do it all with this one palette. And if you don't know, each of these tins pop in and pop out. So they're magnetic. They're customized for me and for my skin tone. So, you know, when you buy a compact of makeup and you typically gravitate towards a few colors that you really love and you use those up, and then maybe you don't touch other shades. I think eyeshadows are a really great example of that, and potentially some lip colors. So you can customize your palette to have only the shades that you love, but I can help you customize the colors to make sure they're right for you. And all you need to do is comment the word up, because today is about a pick-me-up. So if you need help in customizing your own all-in-one 3D makeup palette, just comment the word up, U-P, up. And I will help you pick yourself up and make yourself feel and look your best. Because I don't know about you guys. I mean, when I look better, when I take some time to invest in myself, and when I'm not talking to you guys and I'm doing this by myself, this takes me 5 minutes, right? That cottage makeup that I'm talking to you guys about took me 3 minutes, right? It is super fast. I have been wearing this makeup, Manita, Feel Blue, every day because, oh my gosh. Manita, I can't read that out loud. My love to you. I'm sending you my love. Okay? Those words aren't enough. Thank you for sharing. Holy heck. Okay, if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. I will do my very best to answer them. But I think the point is, whatever we're going through, whether it is something as Manita's comment just reminded me of something, and this is why I love this community so much, is you guys give back to me so much. It's incredible. And Manita, you just reminded me of how important it is for us to be grateful and thankful for where we are right now in our journey right now and what we're going through. And I understand that, you know, my sadness of my son being away at school and not seeing him for another 2.5 months pales in comparison to what you just shared with me. But regardless of where you're at in your life and what you're going through, the reality is we all go through moments of sadness and hardship, regardless of what that is. And sometimes as women, we take on so many different roles, right? Of the caregiver, and we spread ourselves. I know I can speak for myself, spread ourselves so thin that sometimes we forget about the importance of taking care of ourselves and investing in ourselves and taking a few minutes every day to make yourself look and feel your best helps you serve other people. So if your goal is to serve and help, whether that's your family or your friends, you can't do that unless you are 100% yourself. So I guess I say that to say, never feel guilty about taking time for yourself and investing in yourself. Okay. So I just added, ladies, I took the big end of my blush and bronzer brush and I dipped into my Bella bronzer and my illuminator. And a lot of women ask me, Erynn, where does bronzer go? For me, it's like a must-have. And if you don't use bronzer, I would encourage you to add some into your palette. It helps to warm up my skin tone. It helps to bring, a bit of a sun-kissed glow at this time of the year, and the summer starts winding down. I like to keep my sun-kissed glow. So, and I'm just going to add a little bit. This is one of my favorite lip and cheek colors. So this is Frenchie. It's one of my all-time favorites. If I was to be asked, what are my top 3, Frenchie would definitely be in it. So if you don't have Frenchie in your palette, I would absolutely add it. And if you have not tried cream blush, cream bronzers, ladies, you're missing out. I'm just telling you, it blends out so beautifully on your skin. And you may notice I actually just put a little bit of that blush. Do you see in the tip of the middle point of my nose? And I actually put it on the top of my forehead. For me, it's just more of a sun-kissed, natural looking glow. Okay. I'm going to do a really super easy eyeshadow. What am I going to use? I'm going to use 2 colors. Number 1, I'm going to go into Bubba. So this is sort of a warm neutral shade. It is perfect for so many different skin tones. All right. Now I have hooded eyes. I'm starting to feel better. I'm starting to feel like I'm in my groove. So this is Bubba. I'm going to take the one end of my blush and bronzer brush, and tip for you, if you have hooded eyes, placing that color right above your natural crease. I'm looking into my phone right now. Let me look into my mirror that's right behind it, because sometimes I can't see. My eyes are not very good, despite the fact that I wear contacts. So sometimes this is a little bit challenging. Okay, and then I take the smaller end of my eyeshadow brush and I run it down underneath my lower lash line. Like, instead of eyeliner, I think it's softer. I think it's really beautiful for those of us with maturing skin, and it helps to keep it soft. If you run, because my hands are still shaking, you can clean it up really easily. And then I'm going to use Bubba again on this side. Just go right above your crease and then pull it down here in sort of a V. And then I sort of feather it into the middle. I am not an expert at eyeshadow, ladies. That is not my thing. So sometimes eyeshadow has always intimidated me. Does anybody else feel this way? Does eyeshadow intimidate you? Because if it does, I can show you some really super easy eyeshadow looks that are not complicated, but that are beautiful. All right, I'm going to go into a second shade here. I want to double check because I was moving some things around. Yes. Okay, so here's another one that I'm going to use a little bit of shimmer, but I'm just going to use my finger. So this is Crush. I'll get it up close so that you guys can see this. This is Crush. Furlong all the time. Yes, absolutely. If you're just hopping on, ladies, we're talking about, times in our life when we need a little bit of a pick-me-up. And today for me is one of those days. And oftentimes, taking the time to put yourself together and put a little makeup on can help you feel like yourself again. And if you want help with one of these 3D cream palette, like I said, I've been using this for 3 years. It is the easiest all-in-one palette. Just comment the word up and I would love to help you. Okay, so I've just used Bubba on the top. I've pulled it down at the bottom. Nalaby, where do you get this makeup? So SEINT is sold exclusively online. I'm a SEINT artist. Don't let that fool you, okay? You do not need to be an expert to do SEINT, to utilize this makeup. I am not professionally trained. I started wearing the makeup 3 years ago. Certainly, as it's gone on, I've become more confident with it. And certainly I would expect for you in the same way. I mean, when I first started, it took me a few tries, right, to get used to a different makeup. But let me tell you, it is absolutely, absolutely worth it. Okay, so I use Bubba and I use Crush, and I just put Crush on with my finger and then in the center and then to the inner portion of my eye. Just helps to sort of open it up. Now let me really quickly, hey Connie, thanks for commenting up. I would love to help you customize your own palette. So ladies, like I said, while I put my mascara on, and my hand's shaking, which is not helpful, and I just had a big clump. I need new mascara. Hold on 1 second. I would strongly recommend you guys take my help with the free custom color match, because when you look at the product online, the shades look much darker online than they do after they blend out on your skin. So if you try to pick your own shades, you're likely to pick shades that are actually too light for you and for your skin tone. But I've color matched over 5,000 women. Actually, I think it's closer to 6,000 women now. And the feedback that I get from other women that absolutely love this is incredible. I love hearing from you guys too, because you know what, at the end of the day, I only share on here things that I personally use and love myself. Okay, let me just plop a little bit of my mascara on the bottom. 1 second. All right, my eyes look so tired today because I did not sleep very well last night. One of the things that I love, and if you have a SEINT palette and you don't have the brow wax, I just take my SEINT setting spray, or you could use a drop of water and my spoolie brush, and I'm just going to, it's kind of like a soap. I don't know why they call it a wax. It should be called a soap. And what this will do is help to, so first, it's going to help keep the hairs going in the right direction. So you can fill your brows in. I'll use like this end of the brush. I think this is called the multitasker brush or the line brush. I can't remember. Look for the one with the spoolie, okay? You can fill your brows in with your contour. I will often the shade that I recommend for you for your contour will work great to fill in your brows. I'm not going to fill them in today. I'm just taking the brow wax and I push the hairs down first. And I'm doing that because I want to coat either side of my brows. And then I'm going to push them up like this. Hold on. I know it looks crazy. All right. I'm going to push them up. If you like the laminated look, then take your brush and push it down like this. And then I just take the hair as a spoolie just to push down where I want them to. So what that brow wax is going to do is keep my brows going in the direction that I want all day long. Okay. So here's what I did the other day, guys. Do you see how sparse it's looking right in here? My brows. I overplucked. I was plucking my eyebrows in really bad lighting and my hand slipped and I plucked. Like, how many of us have ever done that, right? Where we're plucking our brows and we're like, yep, that's good, that's good, that's good. And then I thought I have a terrible unibrow, right? When I was a teenager, why no one told me I needed to deal with that is beyond me. But anyways, I have still a really bad unibrow. So anyways, I was plucking along here and I thought I was in the right spot. I was not. I was not. And some of those lines there is actually from a process. I got nano fusion done. It's kind of like microblading, but it's a little bit more gentle. But anyways, yeah, I took a big chunk out of my eyebrows. So if I was doing them, you know, I'm just not going to bother doing them today because I just can't be bothered. But the brow wax, if you don't have it in your palette, I would add the brow wax. It's a great way to help shape your brows. And you know what, when your brows look good, it's like the picture frame for your face, right? So all I have used is my main highlight to take away some of the discoloration on my face. Let me just show you. This was the one I used. I used Mango today. And then I used Athens for the inner portion of my eyes and anywhere where I wanted to add a little bit of brightness. And then the contour that I used, I actually went between these two, and I often do. This is Olive and this is Astoria. The reality is we can use multiple different contour shades. Contour is typically ashier in tone than, for example, your bronzer. Bronzer is going to have a little bit more warmth, and contouring is really going to help to chisel out those features. If you have never contoured your faces, ladies, I totally get it. I had never contoured mine either. It intimidated me. It is the easiest thing ever, and I can absolutely show you how to do that. Contouring is going to help create dimension to your face versus when you use a traditional foundation and you use one color all over your face. What in essence you're doing is you are erasing all of that dimension that naturally already exists. So sometimes I'll hear from you guys and you'll say, Erynn, my makeup doesn't look as good as you are. Yours does. And here's why. Oftentimes after I've talked to you, you're skipping the contour or you're skipping the bronzer. Don't be afraid of that. I encourage you to have fun with this. And what's amazing is how forgiving this is. So if you put a little bit too much on, just blend. Keep blending in until the color density makes sense for you. All right. Last thing I'm going to do is my lips. Starting to feel a little bit more better about myself here. Okay, so I'm going to put on Nude. This is a satin shade. So Saint has different finishes of their lip and cheek colors, okay? There is a satin, a semi-gloss, and a gloss. So whenever you're here, I'll show you an example. So this is, I'll swatch it for you. That is Nude, okay? That's what I just put on my lips. It is a satin shade. That is Frenchie. That's Frenchie that I used on my cheeks, okay? Tropicana, this one right here. I actually had a lady reach out to me this morning saying, Erynn, what do you think about Tropicana? I'm like, if it's not in your palette, you have to get it. It's absolutely a favorite. So this is Tropicana. It's a semi-gloss, so it's in between a satin and a gloss, meaning it has a little bit of sheen. And then here's another example of one of my favorites. This is called Desert Sunset, and it is a gloss. So online, when you look at Desert Sunset, it looks much darker. It looks redder than it actually is, but this is Desert Sunset. It is gorgeous. So that is, Desert Sunset, Tropicana, Frenchie, and Nude. I would say if I was to say my top 4, those would be within it. Those are the shades that you see me wear the most. So I'm going to take a little bit of Desert Sunset. Don't be afraid to sort of mix up your blush shades because I had put on Frenchie here, but I'm going to put a little bit of Desert Sunset because I like a little bit of that glow that it gives me. I think it is so pretty. So that is Frenchie and Desert Sunset. And then on my eyes, if you just popped on, I used Bubba and Crush as a little bit of a shimmer. I used Nude on my lip, and I like taking a bit of a shimmer shade, or not a shimmer shade, a gloss shade, and putting it in the middle of my lip just to add a little bit of moisture, and it helps to pop your lip as well. Okay, so here's my last tip for you guys. cream makeup does not set on its own. Let me rub this off so I don't get it on my clothes. Cream makeup doesn't set on its own, and that is a good thing for those of us with maturing skin, because when we use traditional foundation, oftentimes it looks really great at first, right? And as we go through the day, the color may change. You may find some settling into fine lines and wrinkles, and that's happening through when the product is drying down. So there's a lot of water content within traditional liquid foundation. And when that water evaporates, what you're left with is sort of some cakey, cracky kind of makeup, right? That oxidizes, and that's why you see the color, the discoloration or change of color throughout the day. So cream makeup does not set on its own, and therefore you're not getting that same oxidization occur. So what I use is I use my setting spray every single day, and I use a beauty blender every single day. It's my last step. And what I'm doing is I'm setting my makeup, and I'm also using the beauty blender to tap out any areas that I may have put a little bit too much on. This is one of my tricks, 100%, for having a really great finish that lasts all day. Okay? That took a short period of time. It took me longer because I'm talking to you guys. But let me tell you this, if you've been here since the beginning of this live, I feel infinitely better. So thank you for hanging out with me, helping me get out of my funk a little bit today. And if you guys would like my help in customizing your own 3D cream makeup palette, just comment the word up, UP, up in the comments, and I would love to help you out. Okay? You guys go have a great day.